What's up guys, Sal here. So if the Pixel 7 series releases anything like 2021, then the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro won't hit stores for another 7 to 8 months. But it looks like we already have the first look of the Pixel 7 Pro as well as Pixel 7 thanks to OnLeaks. These are based on CAD schematics, and if you don't know, CAD aka computer aided design of the phone is prepared by the OEMs and is commonly used by case makers to prepare their accessories for upcoming phone launches. With that being said, here's the first look at the Pixel 7 Pro. At first glance, you would say this looks identical to the Pixel 6 Pro, but there are some notable differences. First, the design of the camera module has been tweaked a little. Unlike the 6 Pro, the camera module on the Pixel 7 Pro blends into the chassis, so it looks like a single piece, which honestly will look a lot better. This also means the color of the chassis and the camera module will be the same. Also different is the frame around the dual camera setup, but apart from that, no changes at the back. We have the periscope zoom lens, basically a triple camera setup, except the camera lenses look a lot bigger. Second, the Pixel 7 Pro will be a little more compact than its predecessor. As you can see, Google has reduced the length, the thickness, but increased the width, which means it will be wider than the Pixel 6 Pro. We don't have the exact screen size, but the report mentions that it will be between 6.7 to 6.8 inches. We also have the first look at the regular Pixel 7, and again the same story here. It looks almost identical to the Pixel 6, but with those aforementioned changes. It will also be shorter than its predecessor. Also, it will look almost identical to the Pixel 6 from the front, punch-hole camera, in-display fingerprint scanner, somewhat thicker bezels, and more. Moving on, we also have some specifications of the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro courtesy of 9to5 Google. They found some internal codes which mentions the code names for the handsets. Cheetah is the code name for the Pixel 7, while Panther is the code name for the 7 Pro. It also mentions that the handsets will have the 2nd gen Tensor chipset and will have Exynos 5300 5G modem.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Google is also working on their foldable smartphone called the Pixel Passport, and according to Ross Young, it will launch at the end of this year, likely alongside the Pixel 7. Google may have already leaked the design of this phone in the Android 12L build, and as you can see, it looks more like the Oppo Find N than Samsung's Z Fold 3, which is great news mainly for its wider cover display. It will feature the Pixel 5's camera setup at the back, and the great thing about the Pixel Passport is that it will be priced aggressively at $1,400, which will undercut the Z Fold 3 by a massive $400. But as always, we'll have to wait and see whether or not this rumor actually pans out. Of course, do consider subscribing for all the latest updates on the Pixel 7, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.